welcome back from part 2. Anyways, let's continue about Dacia. The designers were still coming up with fresh ideas, many of them shrouded in secrecy.
Prototypes such as the 500 cubic centimeters mini Dacia, as well as Dacia 1310 variants, were designed. Some, such as the Dacia 1310 Maxi Brake, are still on the road.
These cars are eagerly prized by Dacia enthusiasts, and Dacia web forums are full of evidence about the rarities and oddities produced by Dacia during the 1980s.
The Maxi Brake was an 8-seater version of the station wagon, also available as an ambulance, stretched by about a half a meter between the doors.
10 to 12 such cars were actually built by Dacia serviced Viquesti. In 1982, after the 1302 was dropped, the Dacia 1304 pickup and drop side models were introduced.
Actually, they had been launched from 1981.
Oh my goodness! Don't mess with me! Whatever!
These were a commercial success and remained in production, gradually being modified along with the rest of the range, until December 2006.
In 1985, were added the 1410 was available as a larger engine variant, while the relatively short-lived 1210 was the economy variant until about 1992.
Get freaking
For the 1984 model year, the Deluxe MS and MLS models presented slight modifications on the 1310 platform, with a new spoiler and chunkier rubber moldings around the front grille and headlamps.
In 1985, the rear vent was changed from a narrow horizontal aperture to a rhomboid aperture, much like that of the Renault 12 Phase 2.
From late 1985, all models had the large rubber moldings around the front grille and headlamps, plus a spoiler. The lineup was changed to TX and TLX, though other designations were occasionally seen.
A 5-speed gearbox also became an option.
Models destined for Canada, initially called GTL, sported twin fuel tanks.
In parallel, work was developing on the 1320 CN1 model, which was a hatchback, based on the 1310.
The new front-end seam on the 1320 also appeared on the top of the range in special order models. From about 1986, these cars were distinguishable by two large headlights, a much plusher interior clad in blue plastic, and a new dashboard known as the CN1, and occasionally faired door handles.
Many were owned by senior officials in the Communist Central Committee.
While the 1320 was the most expensive model in the Dacia range when it appeared in 1988, many were used as taxis.
The 1320 did not last long, however, as early as 1989 there were prototypes using the front of the 1320 and a new rear, with wraparound tail lights and other relatively modern features.
The 1320 model emerged in 1991 as the Dacia 1325 Liberta after the 1989 revolution. Themes of liberty were very much in fashion and stayed in production until 1996.
William, get down here now!
The last of the quad-limbed models were produced in 1992, and all the Dacia range received the new front end of the 1320, called CN1.
An effort was made to rejuvenate the model range. The sport was dropped due to lack of sales, and new commercial vehicles were introduced.
Pyromaniac or something? William!
The 1307 was a double cab pickup. The 1309 was a mistake with a tarpaulin instead of a boot. The car was a crossover between estate and pickup and sold very well on the Chinese market.
There were also several prototypes included.
The cars of 1992 to 1994 are curiosities. Although efforts were obviously being made to renew the model range, there were numerous stylistic hangovers from the quad-limbed models. Thus, William! Go get
Thus, the last of the 1983 design dashboards were seen in 1994, although a new dashboard had been seen on some model ranges since 1987.
Similarly, although the CN1 restyling eliminated anachronisms such as a kink upwards at the seat pillar and a rubber rear spoiler, it was not applied consistently. Someone's gonna call the police. The 1994 facelift was known within the industry as CN2.
Whoa!
A retrojected front end was distinguished by a horizontal metal line in the grille.
There were new headlamps, a new radiator grille, and front and rear bumpers.
Inside, there was a new dashboard for the base models, while the top-of-the-range cars had luxuries such as body-colored bumpers, rear head restraints, a radio cassette, outputs, and the ever-present CN1 dashboard, this time in black plastic.
This model was not to stay in production for very long. In 1995, the CN3 type was introduced.
Practically the only differences were those of trim level and the radiator grille.
William! All over smoothies! You are so...
From late 1994, little attention was paid to the improvement of the 1310 range, as Dacia launched a new model, the Dacia Nova. Bro, get down here now!
This was a compact saloon/sedan or hatchback with a three-box design.
The design was rather outdated because development work had started in 1983.
The Nova is a 100% Romanian design, started after the end of any French involvement in Dacia.
The model was unpopular due to reliability and rust-proofing issues.
However, after improvements in 1996, the Nova became more often seen on Romanian roads.
In 1998, a 7-seater prototype was produced using the panels and windows from the standard Nova saloon. In 1998, the anniversary year of 3 decades of production since the first Dacia rolled off the assembly line, vehicle number 2 million emerged from the plant. This year saw the last restyling of the 1310.
It was known as CN4 and involved a comprehensive restyling of the front end, new door handles, and a lightly restyled rear view mirror.
The estate version was fitted with larger tail lights.
Even though the model was over 30 years old, it sold exceptionally well due to a starting price of about €4,200 and high availability of parts.
Goodies, such as a fuel injection, also helped keep the model relatively modern. In 1999, a special edition was produced for the first time, known as Dacia Ubiquity.
This luxury version of the saloon and estate had alloy wheels, body-colored bumpers, power steering, electric windows, and a far better level of finish.
The models were all painted two-tone silver and sold at a significantly higher price.
From 2002, the cars became known as Berlin on Brick, with a 1310 lettering being relegated to an insignificant position underneath the side light.
On 21 July 2004, the last models of the 1300 series rolled out the gates of the Mini production facility 1 month before their 35th anniversary.
The last Dacia 1310 saloon version, number 1,979,730, will be kept in the Dacia Museum.
On 8 December 2006, the utility Dacia pickup suffered the same fate.
Whoa!
Although many improvements have been made in recent years, such as four-wheel drive, the introduction of a 1.9 diesel engine, the dashboard from the Dacia Salenza, also seen on the last 1310s, and wheels fastened by 5 studs as opposed to 3, Romania's entry to the European Union effectively prevented the continued production of the old models.
The assembly lines will be remodeled and expanded to increase production of the Dacia Logan. In over 34 years of production and more than 2.5 million units produced, the Dacia 1300/1310 easily became the most common car on Romanian roads.
A large number of people have become adept at carrying out repairs or homemade modifications.
For example, many older cars had newer front ends grafted onto them to make them seem more modern, or purely because newer parts were easier to get.
Consequently, original early 1300s are quite rare, with prices steadily increasing for the best preserved models.
Whoa!
Tuning of Dacias is also a popular pastime, although the home-made nature of much of the work casts doubt on the level of quality, safety, and reliability of the finished product. According to popular belief, during the communist era, in the plant where Dacias were made, there were 2 assembly lines, one line producing Dacias intended for sale, in Romania and the other line producing the same car, albeit from superior parts and assembled with greater care for export.
Romanians living near the border would commonly purchase their Dacia in neighboring countries expecting a higher level of quality.
Meanwhile, work was continuing on the other Dacia models.
In September 1999, Dacia became the third brand of the Renault Group, with a view to making Romania its hub of automobile development in Central and Eastern Europe. An investment was consequently increased.
The first sign of this came in 2000 with the introduction of the Supernova, an improved version of the Nova with engine and transmission from Renault.
The top-of-the-range version had air conditioning, electric windows and a CD player.
Sales were very good, although the outdatedness of the concept was striking.
Dacia sold 53,000 vehicles in 2002 and it holds an almost 50% market share in Romania.
In 2003, a restyled version replaced the Supernova with Dacia Silenza, featuring a new interior, the options for an airbag.
This was, however, only meant to be a stopgap model filling the need for a saloon model before the introduction of the all-important Dacia Logan, as well as to Familiar's workers, with the demands of manufacturing a model acceptable to Western European markets.
Production was stopped in 2005. The Dacia Logan is the most successful model since the original 1300.
It was introduced after considerable media interest in August 2004, and despite design-related criticism, it became one of the top-selling cars in Central and Eastern Europe, as well as Russia.
The Logan is sold in many countries, occasionally under the Renault brand.
It was awarded 3 out of 5 stars in NCAP crash testing.
It remains, by far the best-selling car in Romania, comprising a 43% share of Dacia's total Romanian sales in 2015.
A diesel version was also introduced in 2005.
Before its launch, it was known as the €5,000 car due to its projected launch price.
This was never quite the case, although it is one of the cheapest cars for its size on the market.
Get freaking
In 2006, the prototype Logan step was exhibited.
This showed a speculative 4x4 state version of the Logan.
The state version was launched in late 2006.
The van, basically in a state with the rear windows filled in a separate cabin for the driver, was launched in February 2007 after the stop in production of the classic utility vehicle, the Dacia pickup.
The Renault Technology Romani Engineering Center was set up in 2006 in Bucharest, Romania.
Employing approximately 2,500 engineers, its main fields of activity are the development, testing and design of the new vehicles in the Dacia range, as well as the marketing and technical support.
The following year, the company also set up a styling office, Renault Design Central Europe. A pickup model and the Logan, based hatchback Sandero, were launched in 2008, the latter at the Geneva Motor Show.
This also marked the point of rebranding for the company, which adopted a new logo and later the same year launched the facelifted Logan model.
In 2009, a new concept, called the Dacia Duster, was unveiled at the Geneva Motor Show, signaling manufacturers' intentions of releasing an SUV model.
This was reportedly the inauguration of the platform that would be used for the second generation of the Logan and Sandero models, released in 2012.
Get freaking
In 2010, the Dacia Duster was exhibited at the Geneva Motor Show.
It is the first crossover SUV built by Dacia since the Renault acquisition in 4x2 and 4x4 versions.
It was revealed on 8 December 2009 and became available in Europe on 18 March 2010. In September 2010, a testing center was opened in Chișinău, Romania, as part of Renault Technology Romani.
It is intended for developing and optimizing the new vehicles in the Dacia range and has 9 types of track, with a total length of 32 kilometers and around 100 test benches used to test the resistance of vehicles and replacement parts to cold, heat and rain.
In 2012, Dacia Logi, a new compact MPV, was revealed at the Geneva Motor Show.
It is based on a new platform and is manufactured at an all-new Renault factory in Tangier, Morocco.
The Tracker, released in June 2012, is a slightly smaller leisure activity vehicle, also manufactured in Tangier, sharing the same platform with a Logi, available in passenger and caravan variants. In September 2012, the second generations of the Logan and Sandero were revealed at the Paris Motor Show.
They feature a common front-end design and come with improved standard safety features, a new engine and other new comfort equipment.
The following year, the facelifted Duster was presented at the Frankfurt Motor Show.
It received mild modifications to the front and rear ends, the new interior introduced on the new Logan and Sandero models, as well as a new turbo-charged petrol engine.
At the 2017 Frankfurt Motor Show, the second generation Duster model was introduced, bringing new comfort and technical improvements, but retaining similar dimensions and engines. According to reports, in September 2018, Automobile Dacia gained 14th place in top 500 CEE companies. Dacia's CEO from April 2016 until May 2018 was Ivis Karakatsanis.
He was replaced by Antoine Dalcerin, who left after only 4 months due to personal reasons.
After a brief stint by interim manager Jerome Olive, the position was filled by Christophe Tweedy in December 2018. In 2020, Dacia announced that they would be releasing an electric car, which they showcased in March 2020 with a Dacia Spring electric concept.
The Dacia Spring is said to be based on the Renault City JZE and is said to become the cheapest electric car in Europe, with a price being estimated by Romanian media at around 15,000 euros to 20,000 euros.
Oh my god, William!
In January 2021, Denis Lovat became the CEO of the Dacia Lada business unit.
As part of a company revamp, Renault said it would integrate the Dacia and the Lada Marques into a new business unit.
It also unveiled a new Dacia logo and a product offensive for the Dacia mark, widening its market segment coverage. In March 2021, the production version of the Dacia Spring EV was shown at the Renault E-Race event by Group Renault executive Denis Lovat.
The Spring will be sold in LHD areas of Europe, alongside updated Sandero and Logan models, announced at the end of 2020, and will have a car-sharing version, called the Spring Business. We will continue about Dacia in final part, which is part 3, so stay tuned.